What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. I am so excited to be here filming today, so thanks for hanging out with me and stopping by my channel. I just want to play with some fun color stories with a palette that I've had for a little while. It's my newest palette. When I saw it, I just had to pick it up. It's this Juvias Place Fula palette. I love the color story. I love 9-pan palettes, just very, very colorful and beautiful. Every time I look at this, I'm just so inspired to play with colors I don't typically reach for, such as today, this orange and teal look. As of last time I checked, it was wait for this or add it to your wish list, which made me think it was going to come back. It was just a quick little release they did, I guess, and this was only $10. But it isn't the most unique as far as colors, but to me, the colors, the way that they're put together is what is unique. You can kind of create this color story if you're interested. So we're just gonna have some fun. I'm gonna do a couple of looks for you. I'm really excited to be here. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, there's so many color stories that speak to me right now. I love this is some monochromatic looks. Even this looks gorgeous. This quad here, when I see this very small color story, I get so many ideas and I'm so inspired, and that's kind of why I just had to pick this up. So I think I'm trying to decide. I think I might do along this side here. I'm really having trouble deciding. These are all such pretty color combinations and they're very interesting. So let's go ahead and just do a nice cool toned purple look today. I'm gonna go ahead and dip into here. I'm gonna deepen with this and on the lid. It's kind of a very obvious look, but I'm just kind of dying to do these colors together. Juvias Place mattes, in my experience, are pretty pigmented. I have to be careful and kind of build them up. They're really, really nice. The only time I had a Juvias Place eyeshadow palette that I didn't like, it was one of those 6-pan palettes, and it was a nude one, and it just leaned really yellow, which wasn't very flattering on my skin tone. It wasn't the right kind of neutral mustard. It was just sort of it wasn't supposed to be yellow. It just, I don't know, it kind of made my skin very sallow looking and weird. And it was also very, very light. So I passed that along to my mom, who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, and when she does, I think she likes to go pretty subtle. And she has a cooler complexion, and I thought that it might be really nice on her. So I did pass that palette along to her. And then I have the Army Quad, and I absolutely adore and love that one, but it is really pigmented, so I do have to be careful. Look how pretty that is, that blended on its own. I really like that mauve. Trying to widen and round my eyes out a little bit. And I'm trying not to go too far up. I know a lot of the looks I do for you guys, I get overexcited and I overblend, and it winds up just going all the way out. And I would like to keep this a little bit more subtle and defined to my actual natural lid area. It's just what I'm feeling today. I'm just gonna keep this low and on the outside of my eye and just pat it in for now till I get a feel for the pigmentation. Like I said, these are very pigmented. They blend out so softly and nice. Okay, I'm really curious about this purple shimmer. I haven't swatched out this palette yet. Oh, ooh, it's very blue. That's cute. I liked the duochromes in this. I just thought these were really interesting and really cool. This one especially. All right, and you know me, I'm just gonna finger paint this on. On the lids, it's got a little bit of that blue flip in the light, but for the most part, it's just kind of like a silvery grape. It's very interesting. right up my alley when it comes to like purples. I do like something a little bit more like dirty plum and kind of gray leaning rather than like a fluorescent purple. Give my eyes a little bit of lift. I don't want to go too far up, but I do want to, you know, be able to see some of that work when my lids are hooded. Okay, I'll give myself a little lift there. Cute. I'm gonna go ahead and take a flat brush and go into this shimmer here and put this on the inside of the lid. It's kind of a similar color to what I just applied, but it's definitely got some like pink flip to it. Let's see what it looks like on the lid. Oh, it comes off green. Interesting, because this is one of the colors that I have worn before in the palette, and it didn't look gold like this. So I'm guessing it's the color interaction with this purple. Purple and yellow are opposite on the color wheel, so putting it side by side, it's going to bring out that yellow in this duochrome. That looks cool. I like that. That was so easy too. Okay, I'm going to line my lower lashes with that plum color, and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Here's the 4 colors that I used. This duochrome is so cool. And as you can see with the purple on my eyes, a lot of that red kind of disappeared and this like green gold shows up, whereas on the swatch itself, this is more of like a pinky neutral tone. So really, really cool. And then this one isn't as duochrome-y when I swatched it out and wear it on the lids. In the pan and on your finger, it has like a nice blue flip. It's a little bit more subtle on the eyes, and then these two were just magical together. And these are mostly like the colors you have to work with in this palette as far as mattes. Okay, that's it for today's look. I can't wait to play more with this palette, and I'll see you in tomorrow's look. Okay, let's go in with my Moira Cosmetics Lasting Priming Cream Shadow in the shade Rose Sand. Just gonna apply that real quick to both lids. So I'm going to try not setting this primer today. I found in the past that I always have to prime it or I start getting some creasing or some like weirdness on my eyes when I apply shadow. But I really want my eye primer to cancel everything, get eyeshadows ready, and I don't want to have to set it. So I'm going to kind of play around and see if I can get it to work without setting it. Okay, let's go in. I really, really want to play with these like warm tones with this blue, like tealy shade as my deeper shade. So that's what we're going to do for this look. Okay, and these shades don't have any kind of names. I think with a little palette like this, you don't necessarily need it. And I'm just gonna go in my crease and above it. And it looks very pale in the pan and kind of mauvey, but I find that on me it definitely pulls very peach, which is kind of the undertone of my skin. Everything pulls very peachy or orange, which is why I think I don't necessarily enjoy orange looks as much, because for so many years that's all I was getting whenever eyeshadows would come out. Everything looks pretty smooth, because that's the other thing with this Moira ones is some days, and I'm kind of dry skinned typically, but some days like my lids will look like a little textured after using that primer. So not hating it, but definitely not loving it. Not saying, oh yes, this is a gem, go get it. But it is a nice affordable option compared to like a paint pot, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to take something that's a little bit more domed shape, but still very kind of wide and fluffy. So I'm not getting too much definition, but I am sort of able to apply and pack the color. And we're gonna go into this like deeper rusty orange shade. It's showing up on camera like a little bit brighter than it is. It's a nice like deep terracotta that still has some vibrancy to it. Let's just see how those colors lay together, because whenever I open this up and look at it, those Those shades and those tones with the teal just look so pretty. So I'm going to go below that lightest shade, and I'm going to wind up deepening with that teal. So I'm not going to work too much out here. I want the teal to kind of do the work and the color play to make it look deep rather than trying to mix those two colors. And I'm going to come in here and just define the inner edge, and then I'm going to kind of leave like the middle and outer portion of my lid alone. And the brush is doing a lot of work. The shadow is doing a lot of the work, so I mean, this is going to be a quick, easy look, you guys. Somewhat of just like a little bit of a halo eye going on. That shade's actually a lot brighter of an orange than I thought, and I have a feeling it's going to look even brighter once that blue is next to it. So I'm going to take a small fluffy brush and pack on that teal color. This one right here in the middle. Oh, so pretty. So, so pretty. Oh yeah, so see the contrast already? I didn't have to mix anything. It's just the cool color and the warm color, and they're opposites on the color wheel, orange and blue. So they're just complementing each other, and they are layering nicely. You have to be careful sometimes when you try mixing colors on the color wheel, and the tones aren't quite right. You can get like a muddy gray effect, or you can start getting like weird lines. This looks really good. I almost just want to leave it a matte look. I definitely will probably recreate this color story again with just mattes. Today I'm going to do the shimmers. Go back into that first lightest shade and just sort of, because I have such hooded eyes, I kind of like to lift everything. Sometimes I like to contour here, really define this inside edge, just make my eyes look a little bit more open and wider. Okay, now that I'm really building up that color, especially over that primer, it is starting to look a bit more pinky and mauve right here, which is fun. Okay, I'm going to leave this area of my brow alone. Line the bottom lash with that teal color as well. And I think I'm just going to stick on the outside of the eye. I'm not going to fully line all the way. I'm going to fill in this little area here between my top and bottom lid. For me and my eye shape, that just kind of helps round my eye, make it look a little bigger, and then it kind of helps marry what's going on the top and bottom, I think. Just filling out this little area here. There. And I don't want to draw it downwards. I kind of started to do that on accident, so I've got to be careful not to do that. Easily enough, you just kind of fluff it back up and you're good. I'm looking down in the mirror and up at my monitor, so I need to pay attention to, you know, what my eyes are doing as you're applying shadow. It's a very bad habit of mine to be lifting these days and being like, ooh, all this lid space, and then and the look is gone. So be very aware of your eye shape, how you're tilting your eye. All those little things can really help how your makeup goes on and how your look comes out, because in my opinion, everything is in color placement. Like, you can do these exact colors that I'm doing and place them completely different, and I think that you would get like a totally different look or aesthetic. You can definitely go more subtle, you can do a halo eye and definitely get a bit more grunge. Today I'm kind of going somewhere in between, and I think typically that's like my aesthetic is somewhere in between. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And now I just want to check out this peachy color. It's really pretty. It's like a soft tangerine. Reminds me of the shimmer, the orangey shimmer shade that is in my Makeup by Tammy palette, Chasing Butterflies palette. Okay. And I'm just gonna like leave it just this tiny little tap. I want the inside to be matte and I want the outside to be matte. And I want them to overlap just enough that it's like nice and blended. And I'm not gonna go into my crease today. I typically like to lift my shimmers into my crease and make my eyes bigger. I'm just gonna keep it kind of subtle with the shine today. I know it's hard to do that, but that's just what we're gonna do. I really like that orange and teal together. It's really, really pretty. You might already even have these shades to play with. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye and the rest of my face and come right back to show you everything. I am going to add a lip. This is the color Clay. And the nudes or the chocolates, I forget which line this is from Juvias Place, but this is the color Clay. This might have even been the Earth collection. It smells really good. It's like vanilla cocoa. This is like my new favorite terracotta shade. And I want to say this is my new favorite bullet formula. It is so pretty. But I did buy one in a deeper color in the shade Sheba. It's like a deep chocolate, almost like purpley black. And I just feel like it doesn't perform like this one. So in my experience with the two colors I'd have to say this formula isn't necessarily created equal in all shades. But this particular shade Clay, oh my gosh, chef's kiss, this is gorgeous. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. I love the tone. It is so pretty, and it's like this soft matte like packaging. All of them look the same, so you do have to check the label to see what color it is, but since I only have two, no big deal. But I thought I would just throw on a Juvias Place lip because I don't have very many, and I happen to just really love this one. I purchased it at the same time as this palette. Loving this color combination. I think that's so pretty, that teal and orange. Honestly, that teal just makes this palette. I think deepening with the teal just makes everything kind of an unexpected color story, at least for me and what I typically reach for. This palette seems to be really good at making me reach for things I wouldn't normally combine and kind of making me leave my typical like olives and rose golds family. Alright you guys, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing me do some looks and playing around with some interesting color stories in this little simple but cute palette. I just thought it was really interesting. I am enjoying the Juvias Place formulas, especially their mattes, really, really good. Some fun duochromes in here. And hopefully you're just inspired to play with what you have or even start your own BYOP journey. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.